Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're tuned in from. My name is Moses Wamala. It's a pleasure to have you here as always. And thanks for tuning in right here on Uganda Yencha, your #1 channel. And thanks for choosing us today. If in case you're my new subscriber or a new follower and you've not subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing to us and share this video. Even invite as many friends as you can to come and subscribe to this greatest channel. Now, I'm going to be giving you some news updates as they come in, and they happen in Uganda apparently, but I'll start straight away with the devastating news of the former Member of Parliament and or former legislator, Dr. Miria Matembe, who has survived an abduction today. And what we have gathered, of course, the security agencies approached her home or made their way forcefully to her home today morning on the 24th of June 2026. And what we receive or what we gather is that they managed to flee away without to get away with along with some electronic gadgets. That's what we've been informed as per the stories I've received. Actually, this has happened early in the morning today. And those of you who know how I do my work, actually I rarely sleep, but I catch my sleep in the morning. But according to the news I've received when I just woke up, actually they confirm that indeed Dr. Miria Matembe has survived an abduction. This comes at a time when the CDF, who happens to be the first son, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, is issuing out threats and of course, unleashing terror to those who are speaking otherwise or speaking or criticizing the government, more so the NRM government. We all know that Dr. Miria Matembe was once a darling of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. She served the NRM government for some good time, and they broke ties around 2005. During the removal of the term limits. She was very clear and she made her mind, and she was very clear to the president that this is wrong. And since then, she has been speaking, she has been not missing her words. She has been directly speaking truth to power and of course criticizing the government. She once served as the Minister of Ethics and Integrity and a Member of Parliament. She was as well part of that, the delegation or the team or the delegates that of course made the 1995 or promulgated the 1995 Constitution. So she was in the CA or Constituent Assembly, the team that promulgated the Constitution we are following today as a country. As we all know, yesterday, the 23rd of June 2026, I as well made my visit to her, as I always do every month, to shine a light or to pick her views in regards to the things happening in our country. And as usual, I made my way yesterday to her home, and we had a very, very brilliant interview, of which you can as well go right ahead, watch it. It's below, of course, this interview, this show I've made. So it is the second last interview before this. So you can watch it, where she strongly condemned the human rights violations, the abuses, the terror that's being unleashed against or onto Ugandans by Muhoozi Kainerugaba and the security agencies. So we discussed matters in regards to Dr. Kano Kizza Besigye's fate, the continued incarceration of Salongo Elias Lukwago and his denial for bail, and Martha Kalua's denial to make her way into Uganda. We all discussed that. We discussed all those issues. I know most of you managed to watch that interview. But the devastating news I've just, of course, we've just received, all of us, I think most of you have just have seen as well the news, as of course they come in as they have just come in earlier this morning or today morning. about the raid by the security forces on her home located in Luzira today morning actually, and I've just tried making sure that I look for her. I make my calls, but I can confirm that all the calls are not going through. I do not know whether her phones are part of the gadgets which were taken, but I can confirm that the numerous calls I've tried to reach out have not gone through, have been futile, and I've not managed to speak to her. But still, this poses a threat to whoever dares to speak out or to even criticize or even raise a voice about or against the human rights violations and the terror that's being unleashed to Ugandans and all sorts of violations. So whoever dares to speak, of course, either joins the basement in a manner that can't be even tolerated, unspeakable manner. That's what I can say. So a lot is happening in this country, and who knows that whoever dares to speak, he or she joins a long list of those who have been already abducted or who are yet to be abducted or kidnapped or even incarcerated or even spend a long time away from the public. Now, according to the story by Daily Monitor today, the former minister, of course, Dr. Miria Matembe, my good friend, she had told this publication, or Daily Monitor, earlier on, that they arrived at her home in the morning at around 10 a.m. in her absence. Now, the caretakers informed her that the operatives forced their way in, and they ransacked the house and left with several items. She said that she was still trying by the time this was published or by the time this publication was made. She confirmed to the Daily Monitor that she was still trying to establish whether they were targeting her or it was just a mere intention to abduct her. So that's what I can tell you. And reading what actually I quote, they arrived at my home at around 10 a.m. in the morning in my absence. The caretakers informed me that the operatives forced their way inside, ransacked the house and left with several items. She goes ahead to say that I'm still trying to establish what they were targeting or if their intention was to abduct me. So this comes at a time when the interview that we published yesterday evening on the 23rd of June 2026, where she said that yes, Muhoozi Kainerugaba is a nobody. I think you can, or you've all watched that interview. If you've not done that yet, you can go right ahead and watch it via this channel. And I think most of you have shared it all over. I've seen some tweets or users on X, formerly Twitter, sharing that interview where she criticized immensely the human rights violations, where she criticized the manner in which Muhoozi Kainerugaba is conducting and running, of course, this country in a manner that seems to be as a de facto leader, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, where he goes or takes to his X and posts numerous threats and things to do with what he intends to do or what he's going to do even. And we've seen things happening. However, I've checked all over his X account, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the official account that is verified by X. Nowhere I've seen or I've landed onto a tweet he has done in line with the abduction or any form of terror he would unleash to Dr. Miria Matembe. I've not seen that yet because we've been accustomed to a norm of just finding tweets on his handle, and by the time we get to know everything that it is right or wrong, when things have happened, we all know how Salungerias Lukwago, former Lord Mayor, was of course kidnapped away from his home. Yes, Muhoozi tweeted and even pictures were shared. So this is the norm we are getting used to, by the way, that whatever is going to be happening when you're going to be abducted or kidnapped or even arrested, he tweets, he gets to update the entire public that so-and-so is coming to the basement, so-and-so is here. And he goes right ahead to share even the pictures of those who have been abducted or kidnapped already or arrested. And he goes ahead to even celebrate and even share news and then anything that he feels like people need to know. But yes, we did this interview just yesterday, and it's indeed devastating and horrific to say and watch even that when I woke up today, I just realized that my good friend just survived an abduction or a kidnap. We just pray for her life because for so many years, I've interacted with her right from Delta TV, then to Baba Television, where actually I think literally every month I happen to share or to rub shoulders with her, to share a stage or to share a seat with her, a one-on-one exclusive, to pick her views as a journalist, of course, like I do to all other people, whereby this channel we pick views of different Ugandans in regards to what they think, and their debate matters to do with issues shaping the discourse in this country. That is what we do here. We do not know our fate as well, the team behind this channel, because this means that even those who conduct these interviews are not safe. No one is safe until we are all safe. So this confirms to us that yes, the regime is ready to do everything possible, everything in their capacity and in power to curb dissent, or those who even dare to either speak or even carry out interviews to whoever dares to speak. So this is the gesture, or these are the gestures we can all report or understand. This drives us to, this begs the question that what follows next when, of course, even servants or ex-servants who used to serve this government can be threatened, can be arrested, can be abducted, can be kidnapped. What follows next, even to civilians or to citizens who are nobody, those who have not served in this government, those who are not known by anybody? What follows next? What lies ahead of their future? Or what follows next? That begs a question. If people like Dr. Sarah Virete, people like retired Dr. Kano Kizabesje, people like Robert Chagwani Sentamu, who is a two-time presidential aspirant or presidential candidate, is now a fugitive. People like the president of the Uganda Law Society, Isaac Semakadde, Yakakwenza Rukirabasaija, mention them. So many have left this country, and their crime maybe is daring to speak, or even speaking critical of this government, or even being critical to this government. That shows that even the scribes or journalists who are doing this, they are not safe as well, unless when you're doing content regarding or in relation with entertainment. But if you're doing content in line with what we do, the politics, shining a light on matters pertaining this country, it means we are all not safe, unless when you don't give, it's like the state wants everyone silent, that those who dare to speak, they will end up in the basement or in jail, or they will be abducted, they will be threatened. So that comes back to those who carry out these interviews and those who dare to speak. I know I have my fellow journalists who even get time, use their channels to speak, and as well to speak the ill or the atrocities being meted against Ugandans. That shows where we are heading. And as we speak today, we do not know what the motive was, where the motive or the operation, the motive of the operation still remains unclear, and the security has not even said anything about this, about why they made their way to her home and had to flee or to go away or to move away with some gadgets or electronic gadgets, as it is reported. We do not know as at the moment, or as I speak, at the moment, we do not know why they wanted her. There are no summons, whether she had committed any crime. We do not know. And now we are just asking ourselves, who is next? After Elias Lukwago making his way to the basement, he's now at Luzira maximum prison. We do not know who follows next. So early this morning, yes, the former Minister of Ethics and Integrity, Dr. Miria Matembe, survived, we might say, she survived an abduction or a kidnap, and it still remains unknown or unclear whether the former minister had received a tip-off before leaving her home. And well, her targeting comes at a time or amid heightened tensions regarding human rights in Uganda. And remember, she's a co-founder of the Center for Domestic Violence Prevention and trailblazer for women's rights. Matembe, of course, has recently been vocal or highly vocal against a wave of enforced disappearances, arbitrary arrests, and alleged state-sponsored abductions targeting opposition figures and activists. She has never minced her words. She has been speaking truth to power ever since she broke ties with the ruling government over the term limits. Since then, she has been speaking critical to this government, speaking truth to power, and being vocal and vibrant and standing firm in regards to human rights, against human rights violations, arbitrary arrests, the abductions or kidnap of opposition figures and those who support the opposition. She has been vocal and vibrant. At least she has not kept her mouth shut. And in numerous interviews we've ran on this channel, she has always been saying that yes, God gave her the mouth to speak, and she will not dare shut her mouth up. She will always speak. So in the interview that we ran just this week, just yesterday, and it is still up and running, that interview, she still went ahead and insisted that whatsoever is being done by Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the first family, is wrong. She has always said this, and she was very vocal in that interview. Of course, criticizing Muhoozi Kainerugaba about his tweets, a number of tweets he makes on X. And of course, that was a good interview, I must say. I've always done excellent interviews with her, but that one came at a time when everyone, of course, the country still remains at crossroads. Indeed, this country still needed a voice that had to go right ahead to speak against all these issues, all these atrocities happening in our country. So it is devastating, I must say, and we do not know what happens next, whether they will come back. And as I speak, I do not know whether she is safe, because her phones, all the numbers I have of hers are not on as I speak, apparently, or as I speak to you, or by the time I did this this show. So I do not know what will fall next. I do not know whether she is safe. So it remains unclear whether she is safe or not. Now, once a close ally of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, most of the allies of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, or former allies of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, are suffering. Either they are being targeted for speaking out against human rights violations, against bad governance or bad leadership, against corruption. So any former ally who dares to speak against Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's system of governance faces either trial, trumped-up charges, an abduction, kidnap, name it. So we do not know. Most of them, or some of them, are already in jail. Speak of Dr. Kanokiza Besje. There are those who have chosen to stay silent, to keep quiet for fear of their lives or for fear of the unknown and what follows next. So this comes at a time when indeed many voices have been shut down, many have been gagged, many have been, of course, arrested and threatened. We've had many former allies of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Today, those who used to speak, they no longer speak. Those who used to say a word, they are all silent. And this silence actually speaks volumes, because if someone who used to speak no longer speaks, that begs the question, what happened? Could there be threats? Could there be anything? That begs the question. It doesn't come out of the blue that someone who used to speak, who used to be vocal, who used not to shy away from matters of national importance, that now they keep quiet. It begs the question indeed. So now we do not understand, we do not know, we are yet to know what follows next ahead of Dr. Miria Matembe's life. And remember, as I've just told you, that they fell out with the ruling establishment in 2003. Yeah, I think the constitution, the first constitutional amendment was in the coffin, or was in the pipeline. The removal of the term limits, yes, because the term limits were removed in 2005, yes. But I think from 2003, that's when she started being vocal and vibrant and going against Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, first and foremost, against the removal of the term limits, plus so many other things. And she made it clear, yes, she made it clear to him while they were at Chankwanzi that this is not right. Where we are heading, it's not right. We are not taking this country to the right direction, so this is not right. She made up her mind to quit, and she was really, she stood her ground and spoken truth to power. So Matembe, yes, fell out with the ruling establishment in 2003 over the opposition to the removal of the term limits. Since then, she has remained a relentless voice of constitutionalism and civic space, and that's why we do not get surprised over this, because many have been silenced, many have been abducted, and others have been kidnapped. So we do not know what follows next. So this comes at a time, or at a point today, the 24th of June. This comes at a time when, of course, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is celebrating the 78th birthday of his wife, Janet Kataha Museveni, who last made a public appearance in March this year, 2026. And what I can read for you, because they were together actually, even Dr. Miria Matembe was once a close friend to Janet Kataha Museveni, and I think I'll bring you that story. That will be a story of another day, how Dr. Miria Matembe's relations with the First Lady deteriorated. I think I'll give you that story in the next show. But today, according to his ex-account, from Omugurusi Ampa to Mama Jinga, today, the 24th of June, I'm reading just a tweet that Yoweri Kaguta Museveni posted on his ex, or formerly Twitter account. Today, the 24th of June, is Mama's birthday, having arrived on Earth on this very day, 78 years ago. The family and myself thank God for having given us Mama, kept her safe in the years of orphanhood, having lost her father, Mzee Edward Kataha, in 1955, and prospering her prospering her in the subsequent years up to today. In particular, I thank God for the miraculous reconnection with her on Christmas Day 1972 outside the Intercontinental Hotel in Nairobi. Although we were from the same area of Intungamo and had studied at Chamate together in 1958, we had got disconnected by the troubled history of Uganda. In particular, I thank God yes, since January 1971, we had been operating from Tanzania fighting Idi Amin. I had indeed been involved in the disastrous battle of the 17th of September 1972 in Mbarara, where out of 330 people that attacked on that axis, on account of not being trained, by evening I had managed to take back only 46, including an Obote fighter known as Ageta, a good but chaotic fighter. I have now on the way, I was, I think I was on the way to launch another effort of fighting Amin using the 100 rifles. We had already infiltrated into Uganda and the hand grenades, which Raheru and group used very effectively at Rubiru Quarterguard, Chambugo House of Mathematics teacher Karuhanga Omuharabu, and saved me in Imbali, Maruku House number 49. This is where God's miracle came in. We had just parked in the Intercontinental Car Park, where I saw the Kazoras, including Mama, entering their cars after they had lunch at the hotel. I got out of our car and greeted them. Mr. Kazora and his wife did not know me, but Mama Janet and Mama Jennifer Kutesa knew me from the Intungamo Chamate days. Without going into details, it is that accidental and miraculous reconnection that enabled me to have a family, even when I was still in the risky life of exile and resistance. Praise be to God. It is that miraculous reconnection that gave me a family of 4 great children and 15 grandchildren, and I am now threatening to have great grandchildren. Abayijukuriza. Yes, I think I read that right. Now, he went ahead to as well say that Satan, 3 months ago on the 21st of March 2026, launched an attack on the life of Mama. However, Satan miscalculated. The 21st of March is a good day for the resistance. That is when we defeated the counterattack of Idi Amin at Rugando, 12 miles from Mbarara, in 1979. God, using good doctors, saved Mama's life, and she's now recovering well. Mama has done great things in the family, especially caring for the children during the second phase of the resistance between 1981 to 1986, when she was alone in exile and I was in the bush. She has been a great philanthropist with Uwezo, and she has contributed to the NRM politics scene in Tungamo on top of her religious work. I pray to God to get us to 100 years respectively, so that we, among other good things, see the birth of the East African Federation, which is the insurance of Africa against any future domination or marginalization. Signed, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Omugurusi Ampa. That is the post he has made today. And this comes at a time when once his darling, actually, Dr. Miria Matembe, is facing threats and terror being unleashed over her, what we can refer to maybe her crime, or her crimes being being critical to this government. On the other hand, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is celebrating the life of Janet Kataha Museveni, who happens to be the First Lady, celebrating 78 years of age. This side, Miria Matembe, once a minister and a darling to his government, or to the ruling government, the National Resistance Movement. She's going through threats. And on the other hand, many are celebrating years in jail, including Dr. Kanu Kizza Besigye, who actually previously just celebrated a birthday while in prison. Others, their children, their grandchildren are being incarcerated over trumped-up charges, maybe of supporting another leader or another person different or not the ruling government. We all know what happened to Jakana Sroma and Naduli. We know. So this side is celebrating life. On the other hand, life is under threat over those who today speak otherwise or do not believe in the system. So they are celebrating, the first family is celebrating. But let me take you to now yet, those were the tweets of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Now I will take you to the tweets of the first son. I had an audio recently reported from my Dutch auntie, Her Excellency Mijam Black. I have not spoken to her for decades, but I cannot believe she's our enemy now. ESO should give me a report on this ASAP or as soon as possible. This is my last time talking about Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye. He's an insignificant insect in the Uganda of today. His father is celebrating 78 years of his wife's birthday or his wife's age. Now, I respect Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye for the things he did before he became a traitor. But we will hang him soon. This comes at a time when Dr. Miria Matembe is facing threats. And this comes at a time when Janet Museveni is celebrating 78 years of age, wherever she is, because she last made a public appearance in March this year. So these are the tweets coming from the first family. They are celebrating a life of the First Lady, but here, listen to this. What Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye did against our father Mzee Museveni in our NRA/UPDF religion is equivalent to a Christian becoming a believer in Satan. He will not escape his just sentence. This is what Muhoozi Kainerugaba is tweeting. Lukwago committed the ultimate crime, accusing me of violating human rights when I'm the biggest defender of human rights in Uganda. When I was fighting Joseph Kony in northern Uganda, he was doing nothing apart from impregnating women in Kampala. This is what, after arresting the corrupt opposition in Kampala, I will call a meeting where every road contract in Kampala will be cleared by me. I saw some idiots assaulting our officers and men at court the other day. Assaulting a law enforcement officer is an automatic sentence of 10 years in jail. We are looking for all of them. They are celebrating a life 78 years. Martha Karua banned from Uganda. Karua deported after she was denied entry to Uganda. Karua was stopped at the Entebbe International Airport. He retreated with a quote, "Do not blame my great father for this decision. I deported her myself." She is no longer allowed in our country. This is Muhoozi Kainerugaba, first family. We are, of course, discussing the dichotomy or the contrast, the contrast of the two. A celebration of life of 78 years of age. On the other hand, threatening life or unleashing terror where others are losing their lives. Their lives are on the line, are under threat. Some have lost their lives. They are nowhere to be seen. They can no longer, or they can't even celebrate birthdays with their beloved or their loved ones. They are dead. But I think you can get the dichotomy or the contrast. So today he has posted, we have started the process of appointing our own leader of the opposition. Listen to this. And Twala Fadil, who happens to be now the Secretary General of the Uganda Patriotic League, he says, "Nothing can stop your command and wise guidance, Supreme Leader. The new leader of opposition shall come soon." And as I speak today, yes, that has started It's part of the news that you have to know, by the way. Okay. We released tabs the other day. Others have been arrested and will be arrested. As for NUP, I'm going through a series of tweets posted by Muhoozi Kainerugaba. He says, as for NUP, since they are led by a woman who needs time in the US to change her tampons, I'm going to take charge of that party. Should I repeat this again? This was posted on the 23rd of June 2026, 8:31 p.m. As for the NUP, since they are led by a woman who needs time in the USA to change her tampons, I'm going to take charge of the party. This is Muhoozi Kainerugaba. He went ahead and posted a tweet of Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the party president of the NUP, in a dress, kinda yellow, yeah, in a dress holding a Ugandan flag with microphones. Then he goes ahead to share an image of him riding a motorcycle with Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the president of the National Unity Platform, and retired Dr. Kano Kizza Besigye, the president of the PFF, People's Front for Freedom. He is riding them on a motorcycle. That's what is happening. So you can get a thing or two. So these are part of the tweets. I've tried looking out for any that necessitates or that commands the security agencies or forces to maybe abduct or arrest Dr. Miria Matembe, but it's nowhere to be seen. Perhaps we shall see that very soon, in case he decides to tweet about it. Beating Bachwezi is impossible. We have the blood of Christ in our veins. You will be bringing hell on yourself. Okay, UPDF does not fear any army on this earth, for our God goes before us and destroys the armies of our enemies. So that all the world will know that there is a God in Uganda. The battle belongs to our God, and He will always deliver our enemies into our hands. These are all series of the tweets. If Afande Sale, our number 2 in the revolution, asks me to forgive Lukwago, we will release him with conditions. It has to come from Afande himself. Okay. Okay. Then he goes ahead to celebrate the 78th birthday of Janet Katam Museveni. Okay, the process of getting the new leader of opposition has officially commenced. Okay, these are all tweets going through Muhoozi's, of course, X, or formerly Twitter handle. And now this happens, this comes at a time when the PLU Secretariat is changing leadership. And the team that is already spearheading the journey of course, removing Joe Senyonyi has started. They say we must have a leader of opposition who is accountable. That's why we want all opposition parties and independents to participate in electing or removing the leader of opposition and commissioners. A small group cannot sit in Kavule to determine affairs of parliament. So I'll end with this story. Honorable Namara Dennis, who as well is who hails from, of course, the NRM, and he is still having ties. He has ties with the PLOU. He has said that he's going to seek leave of Parliament to introduce a proposed amendment into the Administration of Parliament Act. We shall amend Section 8 of this so that both opposition and independent MPs elect the leader of opposition in Parliament. The new law will also consider the commissioners and leaders of committees. This is what's happening. So anytime they are going to be amending that act of the administration of Parliament, which stipulates very well that a leader of opposition shall come from the opposition party with the numerical strength. That to say that any opposition party with the majority of members of Parliament on the side of the opposition shall bring a leader of opposition. That's to say, today, the National Unity Platform happens to be the leading majority in Parliament on the side of the opposition, thus having Joe Senyonyi as the leader of opposition. So that section or that act does not anywhere stipulate how a leader of opposition shall be removed or impeached. However, when you go to section 82A of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, that stipulates very well the office of the leader of opposition, how the party or the opposition party can appoint a leader of opposition, the removal of the leader of opposition. But to make matters worse, or to make this a hard task or a hurdle for whoever decides to remove the leader of opposition or any sitting leader of opposition, this must happen in a one-party system or a movement system. We all know we are under a multi-party dispensation. So the Constitution stipulates it very, very clearly and very well that even though one wants to impeach a member of Parliament, even though the constituents or the voters decide to petition Parliament, even though the Electoral Commission has investigated and confirmed the petition is best, or the reasons emanate from concrete evidence or anything based on facts, at the end of the day, this must all be done in a movement system. Yet we dished that in 2005 when we migrated from the movement system to the multi-party dispensation. So we all know, yes, the Constitution is not followed. It might be another protracted battle that would ensue very soon, but it's going to be an interesting one to watch in Parliament. It might be something that will usher the 12th Parliament into another scenario of quagmire or a series of shame and rubber stamping. We are waiting to see as well, because it's not new. The Constitution is no longer followed. We are no longer following the rule of land constitutionalism. So this might happen very soon, but it might be another protracted legal battle. This might even go right ahead to the Supreme Court or to the Constitutional Court. So we are waiting. We all know, yes, this might happen. We all know, we understand it will happen. And no one can stop this due to the majority or to the numbers in the Parliament. So we shall bring you all the updates and more to these stories as they do happen. But it's going to be a hard one, because when you read the Constitution, yes, it stipulates very well how a member of Parliament can lose his or her seat through a petition, or when he has missed 15 sittings in the Parliament without the approval or consent from the Speaker of Parliament. But with all that, at the end of that article or section, the nail in the coffin, or the matter, the essence, the matter subject to debate is that everything must happen in a movement system. That means they must even have another constitutional amendment. If they are willing to remove Joe Senyonyi or to have a leader of opposition appointed in a manner or just being voted into office by the opposition parties in Parliament, that means even Article 82A of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda must equally be amended to just remove that. Like where it says that this shall happen when in the movement system. So today, Joe Senyonyi is safe 100%. Why? If if we are to follow the law, there is no way how they can remove them, how they can remove him. And even the Administration of Parliament Act, even if it is amended, the law does not work retrospective, that it goes backward. No, that means it has to go forward. That's why I said it's a protracted legal battle that might ensue very soon. And we await that. As a person who wants to follow legal battles and matters of national importance, I'm waiting for that because it's very hard. The Constitution and the Act and the Parliament, the Administration of Parliament Act, indeed gave the opposition powers, or the opposition parties powers, to appoint whoever they want or they feel like as the leader of opposition, but it does not stipulate very well how they are removed. And even if you want to remove Joe Senyonyi today, it's going to be very hard. I wish you the very best. We shall see, or we shall have time for another show when God decides.